Sunset. Oh, basketball. Greetings all. You've seen this junction before in a few of my videos. That dark area in the background there is just mountains. The view in the night, especially this time of year when the rainy season is coming to an end. And though it's cloudy, there's no rain. It's warm during the day, and this time of the evening, the atmospheric temperature is cool. So I walk in the evening around this time as the sky is so beautiful. It's just like the morning sky to me, but like I said, it's beautiful. I enjoy this time of the day. The only thing that I have to watch myself with is the traffic. Buses from Manila. They stop along the highway, along the road, drop people off. And even some occasions they pick people up. Many times I've gotten off right here when I return from Manila going home. See how you cross the road here? People just slow down and let you cross. No lights, no zebra crossing as you call it in the US, the West. People just slow down and let you cross. There's something that's been on my mind today, and I wasn't sure if I was going to talk about it. Because there are occasions when events, when they come together, you're not sure, there's no certainty of the outcome. And some of the things that you see happening today, there's an uncertain outcome until you see the process begin. I always talk about Africa, and it's the rest of the world try to pretend that Africa is not there. They don't talk about Africa until well, let's look at it this way. Until China and Russia decided to come into Africa, bringing some development, there was no talk about the value of Africa to the West. There was no talk about African people. Except to describe them as starving, ignorant, wicked, poor. We have to help these people. And now they can't bring that narrative anymore. So they have to change their actions. And as you've been watching over the last 3 years when I was talking about these things, well, it's coming up to 3 years. It'll be about next year. It'll be 3 years, and we're not a few months. Will be in 2025. Restaurant right beside the road. Yeah, within a few years, within a few months, it will be 2025. Already, some of the things that are happening, I said the US and all the other people are going to come back. The Europeans or whoever is working with them are going to come back. But if you look at events in Israel and what they call the Middle East, it is keeping people busy. The same people who were, like the French, had to pull out of Africa. Not because they volunteered and want to be a partner with Africans and change the way things are done, but because Africans started saying, we want you out. Burkina Faso, they just surrounded the embassy and say, hey, you're leaving. And if you don't want to leave, you're going to starve in there. No water, no power, no food. But then a few days ago, we see the face of the Frenchman, him and Ruto shaking hands and smiling with each other and announcing that we're coming to Africa to hold this conference with all the African leaders. And it will make it seem to Africans that Africans will complain about their leaders going abroad, and so this is a big change. Now the Europeans coming to us. Coming to us with what? They're just moving the table. The African leaders still underneath the table, And the Europeans are still sitting around the table enjoying the food and talking to them underneath the table, telling them what's going to happen, what they have to do. But the funny thing is that while they're talking, the Russians and Chinese are doing things. Coming to the whole the Russians are doing things too, but not in Africa at the moment. They're holding a conference in Russia for the BRICS nation, and everybody is trying to figure out what's going to happen. And people are, I mean, if you look at the news on and people who deal with finance and so forth, there's half of them that saying, hey, we don't have to worry about BRICS because it's nothing is happening. And the other, every time somebody makes an announcement that has to do with BRICS, the sky is falling. Tomorrow, BRICS is going to take over the world. And it's not so. That's why I'm saying you have to wait for these things. You don't know sure. And one of the things that happens in this war, in any war really, is that you see two people start fighting and they beating on each other, and it would appear that neither one is winning, and then suddenly one guy falls, and then he gets up and he falls again. But he gets up. And this is the situation with the West. This is what the war in Israel is leading to. Somehow, they are believing that Israel can bring instability, enough instability that it will slow down Russia and China. And everybody is believing that this guy Netanyahu is this great, powerful leader, but he's not. With all the weapons that Europe and America are providing, the Israelis have to resort to killing thousands of people and still losing. So that's why I'm saying sometimes you have to wait until these situations develop before you can make a definitive statement like, okay, I see where it's going now. And the European world is saying they can't lose because Israel has the atomic bomb and they're going to use it against Iran. What does these people think that they're talking about? Middle Eastern leaders, Arab leaders are scared that Israel going to take them out. Not take out their country, but them. Just like how Israel assassinates leaders all over the east and in the west. There's some leaders that they took out that people think that they just died. But when you do, you know, sometimes they take you out of office and sometimes they just kill you. But whereas in the past they kill somebody and then set things back, today they kill somebody and the same people that they were leading move forward anyway. And it's scaring the hell out of people. Right now there's peace in Africa. But they are working on creating a situation just like you have in Israel in Africa. That's what's going to happen. The same where Israel is being destabilizing force in what's called the Middle East, they're working on a destabilizing force in Africa. And not just one, a few of them. You have to watch what's happening in Africa carefully. Be careful wherever you are in Africa. Not of the neighborhood you live in, but a repeat of Rwanda or Gaza. Iraq. And the final stages is Syria, where Africa is so destroyed that rebuilding it is going to take years. So you, being in the diaspora, from the diaspora, have to watch these things carefully. Have a great day wherever you are. Be safe. Peace.